Good morning, and my oh my, it is a peaceful and lovely day so far here in Lombok at Circuit Mandalika. We're here for the final day of round 4 here in Indonesia, and this is going to be quite the day. Yesterday, we saw a finish by just 0.0001 seconds on the line for the Underbone 150 class. Barely anything in between Nazrul Izzat and Akid Aziz. We saw the TVS who are just about to head out. Hiroki Ono, a fantastic victory. AP250, no different. The Yamahas were strong. Super Sport 600, what a mix of that was on the podium. ASB 1000s, surprise, surprise at the start, but Marcus Reitzenberger for the win. What will happen on the final day? Will that all change? Anything can happen in racing. What we know is the riders, they're heading out on track. It's a beautiful, cool, breezy morning here in Mandalika. The weather might be different, the tires might play up. All we know is action coming up right up ahead in a short few minutes. Stay tuned with this. We're gonna head right onto the track.
And a very warm welcome, one and all. We are coming to you live, as you saw from that introduction by Daniel, from Mandalika International Street Circuit on the island of Lombok in Indonesia. It's a fabulous day, and we are here, of course, for race 2 coming up later today, this afternoon, for round 4 of the IDEMITSU FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. IDEMITSU, I noticed, was supporting a very relaxed-looking Daniel in that interview as well. So double thanks to them. I'm Barry Russell, and together with Daniel this morning, we'll be bringing you, as well as the on-track warm-up action, we'll be bringing you analysis from yesterday's race action and some pit interviews too, which of course Daniel will be doing. Out on track now for the first warm-up session, 10-minute session for the TVS Asia One Make Championship competitors. They're on their outlap right now. And yesterday we saw a dominant performance from Japanese wildcard who took the Sugo round by storm, Hiroki Ono. He has shown up again in Indonesia for this round. Daniel's back with me now, but it was good to see Hiroki Ono again in this championship, and I like the way that they cycle some really key riders through this championship to bring a bit more depth to the field, to bring well, to help to bring the young riders on. And the story from yesterday was very much a Japanese one.
It definitely was. I mean, I especially like seeing someone like Hiroki come into the championship. I remember watching Hiroki from way back when he was in the World Championship, and he's just such a great reference for these riders to learn from. I think, like as you mentioned, bringing in all these powerful talents. Some may say that, oh, it's a huge, it's a landslide victory for someone like Hiroki, but for the other riders, they can take this into account of how to learn what Hiroki does perhaps better than them, and they can improve as a rider and improve the championship altogether.
Yeah, the rider that really stepped up yesterday was the young Japanese rider, Taiyo Saito. impressive ride from him in extremely distinguished company. He fought off Ramdan Rosli and defending champion Vorapong to take second. That's his second podium of the season. He missed his home round at Sugo with injury, unfortunately for him, but we definitely saw what he is capable of yesterday. The best finishing Indonesian was Dekitiano Aldi. He was very close to the fight for second, not to the leader. But he finished in 5th, so he'll be looking for something more today, and as should the rider we were looking at just a moment ago, Fugo Tanaka, the number 3. That is Arshad Rushdi. He looked threatening all day, had a good qualifying session, and ended up taking 8th place in race 1. So room for improvement for both these riders.
Yeah, I think Arshad, it's looked a lot better after into the second half of the season, because in Buriram it was just a real unfortunate start for him. He had a crash and just couldn't get on the pace. And in Sepang as well, where he went well last season, this season he was struggling in Sepang a bit. So it's good to see Arshad back on pace. He was well within the fight for the second place. So we'll see what he can do later on this afternoon.
Yeah, well, we know he's a good rider, the sole Singapore representative. We also had the first ever rider in ARRC from Papua, Rusman Fadil. He featured really well, good qualifying performance and really decent race performance, finishing just 9 seconds off the dominant Hiroki Ono, and which means only 2 seconds off that fast and furious battle we saw for second. And there is Rusman Fadil, the number 18, with Ramdan Rosli. Ramdan Rosli third yesterday, had to give way to the young Japanese Taiyo Saito, and Ramdan moved himself into second in the championship, which is really good news because he began the season with rotten luck at Buriram, had 2 DNFs, technical problems in both races. So to be second and just 4 points behind championship leader and defending champion Vorapong is great credit to Ramdan Rosli.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. We already saw in Buriram the pace that Ramdan had, but yeah, he's just so unlucky, 2 DNFs, so he missed out on anywhere between 20 to 16 points in that top 3 fight. So it's definitely been quite the fight, quite the battle to regain points by Ramdan, and I think we have 5 more races remaining, including the one today. So it's a big opportunity for Ramdan to try and snatch that lead if he can bring the fight back up to the top.
Absolutely, and another rider, we haven't seen him on the screen yet, that could do with stepping up is Piawat Patumios, the Thai rider. I would have expected him on a technical circuit like this to go really well, because he's very precise. He's always been really good in qualifying. We got to know him very well in a couple of seasons in AP 250, but he finished well down yesterday. His qualifying was off too. Piawat qualified in 5th, which is down for him, but 1.3 seconds off the pole position time. And the race was disappointing, finished 9th for a rider of that quality. So we've got Fugo Tanaka, Arshad, and Piawat that need to step up. Muzakir yesterday, we know how good he is as well, only finished 6th, so relinquished his second place in the standings to his compatriot Ramdan Rosli. There he is, Hiroki Ono.
Fabulous rider. He's just so strong. Even now, he's leading timing from Taiyo Saito by about 0.6 seconds. But we just saw just now earlier Rusman Fadil trying to follow Ramdan, and that was a great representation as around here as well, where Rusman tried to lift the bike up just a bit early to flip to the right to try and follow Ramdan's line, try and take advantage, but that flip was just slightly early and it made him go completely offline right over the red and white strip, and it made him essentially just cut the corner. So That's how tricky this circuit is. You try and just do something slightly offline, and you can just end up bottling your whole lap.
Yeah, that's a really good example. It was also interesting in free practice and qualifying that Hiroki Ono did just one lap. It seemed to be one really killer lap in each session to make sure he was on top. It didn't really raise a question about his race pace because he proved that yesterday. He won by 7.3 seconds over 8 laps, so that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, Ramdan just like he was waiting around. I think he was purposely waiting for Hiroki Ono, and that was a proper racing overtake there by Ramdan and Hiroki. Look at the sector times, they haven't really improved much. Ramdan is on a better lap, but Hiroki's on a slowdown lap, so I don't think Ramdan gained much from that.
There's Dekitiano Aldi, the number 2, just behind in that group, just 1 minute before the checkered flag comes out for this 10-minute session. As we stay there with Hiroki Ono. His warm-up session is done. Any slight changes they may have made after race 1, or any new parts they might have put on, like disposables like brake pads to bed in during this session, just to shake out the race day nerves a little bit. Important for these riders. PitWalk is amongst those. His best time this session, 1:47.8. And it does look as though Ramdan's pushing on this last time around. As the checkered flag will come out now. These riders just squeaked through, so they'll get another lap. And that was indeed a good lap by Ramdan. It brought him up to second and within just 0.26 of Ramdan. And therefore almost 0.7 of a second quicker than Taiyo Sato. So nice final time around, assuming he didn't get past the checkered flag quite in time, but that was a really good lap from Ramdan Rosley. There is PitWalk Patumios, the Thai rider. He did tell us on Thursday in the press conference that riding these was pretty much the same as riding the AP250s. There is the Papuan rider, 18, just briefly on your screen there. And there is Darren Pop Tongyoy, another Thai rider, coming into pit lane. The entry to pit lane is just in a very natural position, just off the top of turn 16. That's the penultimate long teaspoon-shaped corner. That, of course, is followed by the tight left-hander that leads you onto the back straight. And from there, it's a short sprint to the line. From the start, it's quite a long run down to turn 1. So another nice design feature of this Mandalika circuit, which opened in 2021, I do believe. So we'll have a look at those warm-up results very shortly, and we will look ahead to this afternoon's racing. There we are, some clouds just on the move a little bit, although having just been down in pit lane, I couldn't feel any wind there, but there's the confirmation. Not really surprising, but Hiroki Ono at the top with 1:45.326. Ramdan Rosley with that late lap to put himself second and within 2/10 or so of Hiroki Ono. Taiyo Sato, yesterday's P2 finisher, third in warm-up. Rosman Fadil, nice outing for him in fourth. Dekitiano Aldi in fifth. Kuin Chang, sixth. PitWalk Patumios, seventh. And defending champion and championship leader, Vorapong Malawahan in eighth. Ninth was Akir Mohammed. He's got something to find this afternoon. Chirant Vishwanath was 10th. Arshad Rishdi, 148.1, he was 11th. 12th was KY Ahmed, 13th Darren Pop Tongoy, 14th Fugo Tanaka, 15th Jagan Kumar. So looking at those, Fugo needs to step up, will be expecting himself to step up, and so will KY Ahmed, to be fair, and Arshad Rishdi, and certainly Muzakir Mohammed. So stay with us, we've got some interviews coming up with Warapong and the Filipino I just mentioned, Kerwin Chang, and we'll be back very shortly with more warm-up action. So stay with us, it will be the Underbone 150s out next. This is race 2 day warm-up sessions for round 4 of the IDEMITSU FIM Asia Road Racing Championship.
So we're down here at the TVS Asia One-Make Championship with none other than championship leader and defending champion Warapong Malawan. So Warapong, yesterday it was a P7 start, but you finished P4 off the podium, but you're still the leader. How do you think you'll go into the second race?
The second race I need to make a different plan, because yesterday I make a good start, and then it's a little bit have some have many time to overtake with another rider, and so make me is a little bit gap more than in the front, and make it difficult to plan the game. And this weekend is Ono strong again, very strong, and for sure finally I have good result and finish and get a point to the leader again. Before race I only 1 point in leader, but now I have 4 points in leader. This is the most important for me, and but today I need to get a good result and make a podium. That's for sure. I miss for podium, and this weekend is I have a step by step for improve the lap time. Every section I can make a lap time. That's sure. In the race 2 I need to more improve again. Thank you very much, and look forward for me.
Thank you so much, Warapong. We're looking forward to the next race. And moving on forward, we will have number 8, Kerwin Chang, the Filipino rider. So Kerwin, you finished race 1 yesterday. How do you feel so far about Mandalika?
This track is very great experience to me also, because all the corner is high speed, and surface is good.
Today's result, how do you think you're going to try and change it up for race 2? Do you think you're going to try and latch behind Hiroki, or is there a different strategy?
For me, I'm struggling now because the all riders are very experienced riders and all competitive. For me, no lose to me, because if I finish, I will do my best. That's all. No lose. Charge to experience always. And in the future, I will get a podium.
Thank you so much, Kerwin. Good luck for the race later on.
My name is Andy, and I'm from MGPA, Pertamina Mandalika International Circuit. And tomorrow and Sunday we are going to have the race of ARRC, FIM IDEMITSU Asia Road Racing Championship, and we are very delighted, we are very happy to host such a race in Indonesia. because it has not been done for quite some time. So has already have a local national series, national championship Mandalika racing series. It has 150, 250, 600 as well as 1000. So where do they go from national? Of course, they have to go to Asia. And FIM IDEMITSU Asia Road Racing Championship is the next step for the Indonesian rider to participate, and hopefully they can go into ARRC and successful in the event and go to a bigger event in Europe or in Indonesia. It is, we have so many motorcycle races very popular in Indonesia, and two wheels is common in Indonesia. How we capitalize? This is the first race. We are not aiming too big. At least host the race and be successful in the event. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The one that is inside ARRC is one of the quite popular motorcycle in Indonesia. So everyone is using 150, 250, and in Indonesia, like I said, I have a national championship as well. But where do we go from national champion? Of course, we go to Asia. From Asia, go to Europe or some other places. So the next step from local racing is going to ARRC or any other racing in Asia. ARRC has 150, 250, and we are glad that there are like 25 to 30 Indonesian riders in ARRC, and hopefully with the wild card that is given to local NTB, there are 2 riders from NTB. Maybe it will become more popular and more participant in the ARRC, and of course me, Indonesia, in Mandalika, we hope to see our national flag in other countries, as well as Indonesian national anthem on the podium. So we welcome ARRC very much and looking forward of having a mutual benefit, and hopefully Indonesian rider will participate more, and of course podium. Hopefully Indonesian will be on podium at any races throughout Asia.
Welcome back to Lombok and to Mandalika International Circuit for the warm-up session for the Underbone 150s. You're joining us live for round 4 of the IDEMITSU FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. I'm Barry Russell, and with me is Daniel Bogas, and throughout this morning through these warm-up sessions, oh dear, there's an early problem for the youngster. I think that's Arai.
Yeah, that's a chain that's come off for him. That's really unfortunate.
We have just a 10-minute session here, which won't really give us enough time to talk about what happened yesterday, and we'll keep an eye on what's happening on track as well. But as anybody who was with us yesterday will know, the race was won by Nazrul Izzat, but measured on thousandths of a second. His time was exactly the same as the rider finishing second, which was the Cardinals Racing Akid Aziz. It was so difficult, even at 50 frames per second, to pick out who crossed the line first, so we assume it was a 10,000th of a second that separated them. But a phenomenal and thrilling finish for them, which took several minutes to sort out. And I think also significantly, third place, John Emerson Ngito, following his victory in Sugo in round 3, and also Arai Agashka took 4th place with for the 14-year-old. So that was an incredible achievement too in this illustrious company. that's done a whole lot of help for Nazrul, who came in as the championship leader and extended his championship lead, because Akid Aziz, who finished second, is not really in the championship hunt at the moment.
Yeah, it's a surprise because Akid has been quite the performer all around. He just hasn't had the best finishes in the early part. So Akid now showing up. It was a great fight. I think we were discussing it before we went live. We have a feeling that if there was half a meter extra, that would have been Akid's race. It looked like he had that extra advantage, but Akid really put on a strong show. And I think he'll be hungry for way more. We have 5 more races left in this season. Plenty of opportunity for them to grab big points. But for now, the advantage is very much in Nazrul's hands. He's got his eyes on the prize.
He certainly has. He does look every inch the champion, and that's for S1M's. Now, who is that?
That's John Emerson, the 3rd place yesterday. Looks like an issue early on. Looks like he went through the gravel. Already early problems for a couple of riders.
Yeah, this is a 10-minute session, and we've done more than 4 minutes of it already. 69 on your screen, another wild card. Aldia's Axel Ismail. Aldia's yesterday. Did he finish? Yeah, I think he was DNF yesterday for Team Galak Galak. And they are very easy to spot. 3 UMA bikes there. Giancarlo Maurizio didn't finish yesterday. April King Moscado was down the order. April King returning after taking a knock to the head indeed at Sugo. Hasn't really come back on the strongest form, so be interesting to see if he can continue his recovery and perform better today.
Yeah, because April was looking a bit stronger in Sepang. So it looked like he was back on track to be a contender that we expected to be. But yeah, this time after Sugo, it's just been a tough outing for April. So hopefully he finds something for the second race.
Well, running around in this company will do him some good. Giancarlo, we know, is quick. Nazrul is that. Enough said.
Beautiful formation riding here by the UMA Racing riders.
Yes, good cooperation from between the Malaysian and the Filipino sides of the garage.
Yeah, it's nice to see that they work well together and that they're helping each other out on track. It's really good sportsmanship.
Yeah, they actually do. Top of the timing screen at the moment is Wawan Wello, who we expected to finish further up the order than he actually did yesterday. Wawan was in 12th, finished 12th, just behind April King.
Yeah, it seemed Wawan and a few other riders who we expected higher up, they just got caught in that big battle down in the last lap. A few bumps and scraps here and there that just knocked them off a bit and just ruined a bit of momentum going into the final sector.
That's right. Another rider we put into that category would be 4S1M's Gupita Krishna, who did look on really good form in free practice and in qualifying. As we complete another lap for the whole gaggle of riders there. Hafisa Rofa moves to the top. What a miserable day Hafisa had yesterday as they were coming out onto the circuit for qualifying. He was weaving around, as riders often do as they come out of pit lane, and hit Shafiq Rasol, which damaged his bike enough to prevent him from participating in qualifying yesterday. And then in the race, it all went wrong as well. But he's made a positive start this morning in warm-up in P1, ahead of Wawan Wello and Hafiz's 1XOX teammate Shafiq Rasol. Also, other news would be Wayu Aji Trilaksana, here of course with Racetech 60 team, his own team that he's brought into ARRC this year. He finished a decent 5th, and his teammate Aditya Fauzi finished 7th, so a good showing for YUAG's very own team. Defending champion YU, of course, and he is still some way down the order with some disappointing early finishes in this season, but he will hang in there. And in amongst the group there's the dark blue and orange bike rider with the blue leathers and white helmet, just coming through on a bunch of other riders there. That's Pirapong Lui Bung Peng, another rider with a disappointing result yesterday. It's easy to have a disappointing result when you have 33 bikes on track, half of which are capable of winning a race, at least half of which. So looking at the order now, Fazrul Sham has jumped to the top. Fazrul looked good all the way through the race yesterday, although he unfortunately didn't make it to the end of the race. So Fazrul Sham will be looking for a better result as well. So his best time, 1:54.122. That's pretty quick. 0.3 from Hafiza. Wawan is next best. And Pirapong, who we mentioned before, quick rider for Team One for All in P5. It's a long time since we've seen Pirapong on the podium. He's more than capable of it. Very good rider with a really good team. So again, there's another rider with the potential to step up. And that was Aditya Fauzi, I think, going through at the front of that group. Number 177. This is a really wide circuit. Even the superbike riders have been commenting on how wide it is. So if your hand up there is Gupita Krishna, very much an on-form rider, although got held up yesterday in the gaggle. There was, just looking at the finishing margins yesterday, there was 1.5 seconds covering the top, basically the top 12. Checkered flag comes out to end that session. And it was Fazrul who got the best of it from Izzat Zaidi. That was another rider with a disappointing outing yesterday. I spoke to him in pit lane yesterday evening. He had engine issues, and that time that he recorded, which is in the mid 154s, indicates that that has been fixed. Teammate in Cardinals racing team of Akid Aziz, a kid who finished in that thrilling, almost dead heat of a finish yesterday. So the two Cardinals looking good for race 2 this afternoon. So let's just take a look at those results. Ahmed Fazrul Sham, riding for Pitspike JRT Tech One Way, was quickest with 1:54.122. Izzat Zaidi from Cardinals. Hafiz Arofa for 1XOX TKKR was third. Fourth, Wawan Wello for Pitspike JRT. Akid Aziz, yesterday's second place finisher by literally a whisker for Cardinals. Fifth, sixth, Shafiq Rasol. Seventh, Murabul Vitoni. And eighth, Pirapong Lui Bun Peng. Ninth in this morning's warm-up session was Shahrul Shazras. DNF yesterday, looking for more today. Nora Kim was 10th. 11th, Husni Zainul Fadzi. 12th, Izam Ikmal for SCK. Gupita Krishna, 13th in warm-up for 4S1N. Pascon Sanluang for Team One for All was 14th. 15th, Aditya Fauzi for Racetech 60 Racing. Moving on to P16, as we will any moment now. Still looking out for couple of riders here. Okay, Fahmi Bassam for LFNH Putra 969 was 16th. Wayuaji Trilaksana, I was looking out for him. He was 17th with a 156.7 in that session. Aldiaz Axel Ismail, the number 69, wildcard. 18th, 19th, Pacharagon, 20th, Hazik Hamdan. And moving on to 23rd, Warapot, 24th, April King Moscado, 25th, Gelang Akbar Roland, 26th, Giancarlo Maurizio, 27th, Nazarul Izzat, 28th, Hazik Farouz, and 29th, Rio Adrianto. 30th, Araya Gasco, the 14-year-old who finished 4th yesterday, John Emerson Ngito, and Nguyen Hutri and Antoine. No time recorded for those riders, those last 4 riders. So there it is, set up for this afternoon's battle. Impossible to predict, but there'll be riders such as Izzat who'll be looking to improve. Also Gupita and Wayu Aji, the defending champion, will be looking to scoop up some more points at their home round. That's it for the underbone. We are going to take a short break for hopefully an interview that Daniel will have somebody with him in pit lane, and we'll be back for the warm-up session in about 6 minutes from now, and that will be the AP 250s, and what a race that was too. So stay with us.
We're down here at the Estremo UZ Honda team paddock with none other than Sharo Shazras and Hazik Hamdan. So Shazras, yesterday it was a tough day out. I think I remember we saw you fall and you managed to come back for 25th. Could you tell us what actually happened?
Firstly, underbone usually everyone know is a crazy race. So in the first 2 laps was really people say in Malaysia gelabah, every rider gelabah. So I'm also the one of the person of the gelabah. So yeah, I made a mistake. So I crashed on the second lap, and then I tried to recovery, but my bike is not good for me. So for today's race, I will try my best.
Is there a different tactic that you're planning to take into race 2, or are you going to try and repeat the similar tactic that you initially had for race 1?
Yeah, I will. My strategy is the same like yesterday, but maybe I need to a bit sabar because our bike and other bike is almost the same with other people. So I hope everything went well for the race this evening. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Shazras. And on to your teammate, Hazik Hamdan. Hazik, yesterday you were well within the front group, but then just at the end, we lost you and we saw you pushing the bike at the line. Could you tell us what happened?
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Firstly, I want to say thanks to my team, UZ Racing. Okay, on the race 1, it was a good race, but little bit tricky for Honda because Yamaha have a point here and Honda have a point here. So we need to use our point to get faster, to get in front. And then in the race, I just try to push the best, and I saw my partner crash in the corner, so I try to beat another rider, and it was a good on the last lap, but maybe have a rider overshot, and then I in the line, and then they push me to the corner, and then I crash. But my bike can start, and then I just push to the finishing and finish the race. That's it. And then for race 2, I hope anything better for our team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hazik. Thank you so much, Shazras. Good luck for race 2 coming up. We can't wait to see you guys fighting up there.
Welcome back to Mandalika. As you may have noticed, we're a little late starting this AP250 session as riders pushing their bikes back towards the pit box, and there is the reason. You can see on there, Daniel, it's an oil spill.
Yeah, that's just over at turn 14. So as expected, the marshals right at work. They're great to spot it, and they will make sure the track is safe to go first before allowing the riders to go out.
Yeah.
So we do apologize for the delay, but safety measures will have to be taken into account, and we want to make sure all the riders can go around the track safely and make it around.
Yeah, absolutely, and the quality of the safety and the training of the marshals is absolutely world class here, no question. And if you walk or run or drive around the track, you will see a lot of white oil absorbent material that's just weathered into the track surface. It's nothing to worry about because it is all weathered in, but these guys are really quick onto it, and good job to spot it and make sure that safety is first. There they are, the special absorbent material that's used for oil spills being rubbed into the circuit.
Yeah, I'm sure some riders are going to be a bit cautious around there for the first few laps, but then once they feel the grip, they'll just keep on going forward.
Yeah, it is a bit of a confidence issue to ride through the what looks like chalk the first time.
Yeah, you can see the number of marshals that they have working on the track is really great. So they're getting this done as quickly as possible.
Well, this Mandalika track has 17 corners packed into 4.3, so I guess there's a lot of marshals within a very short space that can run from maybe 3 or even 4 corners to help out when needed. And that looks like what's happened there, because God, it looks like about 15 people there. Really good work. But it will mean we have a slight delay. Plenty of slack in the schedule this morning, so nothing to be concerned about. So
yeah,
as they clear this.
Yeah, we're just going to head to a quick video of our riders from previous rounds and just get a close-up and personal shot of the riders.
Saya pembalap asli Lombok, Nusa Tenggara Barat. Saya sangat senang sekali bisa balapan di kelas Asia Road Racing ini. Jangan lupa tonton dan saksikan Asia Road Racing Round 4 di Mandalika ini. Beli tiketnya di themandalikagp.com.
Halo, nama saya Rusman Fadil. Sekarang saya balap di TVS. Saya senang kembali berada di balapan ARRC ini, kembali bertemu teman-teman setelah 5 tahun. Mudah-mudahan balapan kali ini saya bisa dapat klasing terbaik. Mohon dukungannya dari warga Indonesia, terutama buat dari Papua, doanya buat saya. Saya kembali ke sini, saya sangat senang karena bertemu teman-teman lagi, bertemu semuanya lagi. Jadi menambah motivasi saya juga buat balapan bisa menang di sini. Oke, buat teman-teman dan fans-fans saya, nonton di live di ARRC, di Facebook dan YouTube, harus dukung kami.
And coming back to, well, almost to the circuit or the vegetation surrounding it, you can see a little bit of wind springing up. All the riders here, when they arrived, were talking about 2 things they were uncertain about. One was grip levels on the track, and the other one was how windy it might be. And the weather does feel a little bit different today. Daniel, you've spent obviously more time outside than I have, but from my perception, It seems a little warmer and a little bit more muggy, a little bit more humid today.
Yeah, at the front, where at the paddock side where all the bikes are parked out right now, the wind is lovely. It doesn't feel that hot, but once you get to the back where there is no wind and the sun is just glaring on us, it is quite humid. I myself have a portable fan under my shirt right now after walking around the back of the paddock. So it has picked up heat-wise, and I think that is one of the concerns for many of the riders. It was the heat. Yesterday was already warmer, they said, on track. So today it seems, if it continues this pattern that we're having, one, we'll have the strong winds coming from the direction of the straight down to turn 1. And the second point is the track temperature will be hotter, so tire wear and tire overheating will play a part.
Yeah, as the afternoon wears on. And note from race direction there that pit lane will open in about 6 minutes from now. And you could see the wind from the way the absorbent material was blowing around as we were watching the marshals a few minutes ago, clearing up the oil.
Yeah, it's properly strong wind. So for the underbones especially, that would play a factor down the straights if this wind happens to continue on to the later part of the afternoon. How it will affect the race, we don't know for sure, but we will see that later on. It's been different every day that we've been here in Mandalika.
Yeah, but no sign of rain. We've been enjoying blue skies, stunning views as you'll see later, and stunning performance by the rider on your screen there, Herjan Atner for Astra Honda. He really has looked just as though he's got the measure of everybody else there. There's the championship leader and 2018 champion, Reza Danica RNs. Superb 250 rider. Next to him, replacing Vida Egger, is Kiandra, the 14-year-old, who's getting a break here and making a good fist of it, you have to say. Kiandra not looking by any means overwhelmed. He finished 7th yesterday, just 6.2 seconds behind Herjan. And Herjan's margin of victory was a wide one for this category. It was more than half a second. And he sat up before the finish line as well.
Yeah, very confident Herjan. I just love how we saw Reza just now, really in his character. The second he saw the camera, had a smile, kept it for 2 seconds, went back to a very serious and focused face. And that really is who Reza is. He's a focused rider. And there actually you can see beautifully the slightly darker line on that turn. That's the very different line that they have to take around this Mandalika circuit. Many of them are what we wouldn't consider typical corner points. So it's really a technical track, and a lot of the riders said that they had some struggles trying to get around the certain turns, but they are getting the hang of it. Riders across each category are getting faster.
Yeah, we certainly saw a lot of lines being taken there, with some going, it seemed to be right to the kind of, what would you call it, the outer apex or,
yeah.
or whatever, but the outer edges of the very outside of that spoon, that teaspoon-shaped turn 16, and then cutting back in to try and get momentum and a good line into the final turn.
Yeah, no, the lines that they take is so wide and sweeping. So you're really on the edge of the limit. You're really on the edge of grip, and you're at the limit of the tires. And I think that's also what's playing into the factor of saying even in the 250s that they had issues with the tire overheating slightly, because you just have to play those wide lines. Your tires will spin up. It's a really tricky technical circuit, but it's bringing us beautiful racing.
It is, and look at those structures built into the hillside. Beautiful. We were having a drive round last night, and there are some beautifully designed buildings around, and the shape and construction of the roofs. I don't understand it, but it's a beautiful visual effect.
Yeah, everywhere you look in here in Lombok is just fantastic. It's a sight to see wherever you go, and it's just been a beautiful journey here with the ARRC.
Yeah, it absolutely has, and going back to that turn 16 and the different lines taken around it, we did see 2 Yamahas, surprisingly, really, mug the podium away from Reza Danica the last time around that corner. We're just getting some, we'll talk about it in the next session.
Yeah,
just about the tyre issues being encountered by the 600s and 1000s, as they have been previously by World Superbike and MotoGP, and the response to that. There's the number 44 Honda CBR for Honda Racing Thailand of Muktadar Seraput. Muktadar had a ride-through penalty following rather a naughty infraction at Sugo, so she's done her time. That time was about 45 seconds by the time she'd ridden through. With this 27 bike field, that didn't give her enough time to score any points yesterday, so she'll be out for the biggest possible result today. She hasn't had consistent results this season, so she needs to get her season on track. We know her ability, we know her determination, so I think we can safely expect fireworks from Muktadar this afternoon. And there is two of the Indonesian Yamahas.
Ray Ratakore and Felix Putra, they're just waiting, they're eager to get on track.
Yeah, I mean, speaking personally, I'm so happy to see Ray Ratakore back here. And with Felix it seems to be a good foil for him. Ray Ratakore, of course, the more experienced rider, and Felix up and coming. Nice combination. They didn't show quite as well as we hoped in the race yesterday, but let's see what they can do today. Let's see what they can do in warm-up.
Yeah, it's weird because we saw them in the early practice sessions and they seemed promising, but they just fell short in qualifying and in the race. So let's hope that they can find something in this warm-up session to bring to race 2, because these are two great riders. We did a full background check on Felix. He's a popular rider, and he's someone with great talent. So I think with Ray Ratakore leading this program, I think he will be able to bring something special, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, just going out there, that distinctive yellow helmet design, that's Aldi Satya Mahendra, who came through. He was the first Yamaha rider to mug Reza Danica on turn 16 to take P2. Great performance from him yesterday, good to see him back in ARRC. Wayu Nugroho scored his first 250 podium because he managed to get the better of Reza Danica as well. But it is the wild cards, Ray Ratakore and Felix, who are leading this outlap. This gives us a chance to have a look at the circuit and also to the clean-up job that we just saw underway about 10 minutes ago to make sure the track surface is safe.
Yesterday we saw Cal Vietnam on our way out, who had a great weekend so far, and I honestly thought he would be even more happy with the results that they've been getting. His answer was simple: next step, podium.
Yeah, and that would be good to see. He's moving in that direction. This season, 7 starts, 7 decent point scorings, and he's well positioned in the championship. Currently in 6th with 55 points. So he is going well. That bike's in good condition. We know the quality of Cal Vietnam as a rider. He just faded in the latter stages of the race yesterday, so hopefully he can keep it all together today. And by the way, he was the first non-Indonesian finisher yesterday.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. We'd love to see it because last season they were struggling. They improved in the latter stage, but coming here in 2023, Honda Vietnam really showing up.
Yeah, they've been in the championship for a few years now, in 250s, in underbones. Because we've also got Duc Tan in 250s. Haven't seen that turn 14 clean up yet, but now these riders, with 7 minutes remaining for this 10-minute warm-up session, are away and on their first flying laps. In white, that's one of the Indian Hondas. That's
I think it was Mohsin Pram when he's making his way
yeah,
around.
that's Mohsin. His teammate Cabin Quintal looked really promising yesterday. He performed extremely well in qualifying, cannily latching onto the back of the 3 Thai Hondas to qualify well up the order. Who's that, Liu Chun-mei?
I think
No, that's Aiki Yoshi.
Oh, yeah. I think Aiki just wanted to catch up with the group in front of him just to get that extra slipstream.
Yeah, that's Liu Chun-mei.
Right.
The rider from Taipei. But coming back to Aiki Iyoshi, qualified well yesterday. Qualified second, if I remember. And in the race, faded. It was a really disappointing day for both the leading Motul Sniper Manual Tech riders, because Irfan Ardiancia qualified down because he crashed in practice and he crashed in the race as well. So uncharacteristic underperformance from the team in green.
Yeah, it was really strange because especially in the hands of Aiki, he looked great in qualifying. Even in practice, it was decent. Irfan as well. In practice too, was good. But it seems that where the other teams have found something even better, Motul Sniper Tech might just be not getting the next step that they need. So they have this warm-up session now to just really get a gauge on what they can do to try and improve the situation. Because we'd love to see the Kawasaki's fighting up on top as well.
Absolutely. 3 manufacturers there. We had 3 manufacturers on the front row of the grid yesterday. So yeah, it would be good to see them put it together during the race, but really quick riders, Aiki and Irfan, both underperformed here at Mandalika. Let's see if they can make it right today. And on our screen there, another wild card, number 222, which is Ray Ratakore, of course. Got very used to seeing that number over the years. And his teammate, if you want to watch out for him, is number 306. Everybody on camera at the moment seems to be running 3 numbers. There's 1, 2, 3. Reza Danica threading his way through that group, just past Mohsin. Or did he?
Oh, Mohsin got the drive out there, but Reza really trying to muscle his way around everyone. But decent drive from the Honda Racing India. That's a good point for us to see them coming out there.
Yeah, it was. Reza needing to do a bit more experimentation perhaps on the exit of turn 16, so that he doesn't lose out as he did yesterday. Surprising to see him off the podium. And there are 3 really quick Indonesian Yamahas of Aldi Sacha Mahendra, Wayu Nugroho, and Ferozi Torakatula. Back with Reza Danica. And formation flying. Once again, we see from the Indonesian Yamahas. They did it to really good effect in qualifying yesterday. Yeah, really good cooperation between these 3 riders. They're running together again and performed really well yesterday.